Trixie Bitch here. So, I have always considered myself to be a very giving and generous person when it comes to my finances and my money. Not always the case with my affection, as some people like to complain about, but that's another story. So, having said that, there's something that's been bothering me for quite some time, and it bothers me. And it's been bothering me, and I deal with it over and over and over again, and I really don't say anything. I don't do anything. I just deal with it until one day something happens, and it just causes me to snap. Somebody just crosses that line with me, and I can no longer just sit back and deal with it and ignore it. So what I'm referring to is that, and having said, let's revert back real quick to the fact of my being very generous and giving with my finances and my money and my time. I do not like the fact that I cannot go anywhere. When I was in California, I lived there for a little over a year, about a year. It was happening there more and more. And now I'm starting to see it here in Texas more and more. And what it is, every time you go to the store, it's when you go to pay, do you want to donate your money for some cause, whether it's the homeless or the hungry or whatever it might be. And I usually, if I'm paying automated, I'll just select no, and I'll explain why. There's more to this. I don't just select no just to select no. I have my reasons, but I'll select no. Or when they ask me, it's always, even at Petco, wherever it is. Petco, I always donate though. I'll explain why as well. But so it's everywhere you go. So yesterday, I went to Burlington. Love Burlington. This fabulous Pepsi shirt right here, I got there yesterday at Burlington. Love it. That's why I go there. Find these little cute, little unique things. But they really ticked me off yesterday. So I go to pay, and there's this young kid behind the register, as you would expect. A teenage boy, about, I don't know, he's probably, I don't know, maybe 18, 17, 16. He could have been 21, that age range, pretty young. And so he proceeds to say, would you like to donate? And as soon as I heard the word donate, I started shaking my head. Now, in this country, from the day I was born, and everybody I know, the international sign for no is, and the international sign for yes is this, right? So he didn't have to continue with his spiel and waste his time and my time, and so we could just get on with the transaction, and I could get out of the store and move on with my day. He ignored, and I'm looking at him, okay? He ignored me in my no, and he continued with his spiel. And as he's continuing with his spiel, I'm continuing to shake my head no. Not being mean, not being ugly, just no, not interested. So I got really ticked off, number one, that he ignored my no and didn't just stop, but kept going. It was almost like, well, you didn't hear what the cause was. So if you hear what the cause is, then I'm sure you'll change your mind. So then the last thing I hear is school supplies. And he's done now with his spiel, and I'm like, but that's not good enough, okay? I was fine. I was upset. But that wasn't good enough for this little shit. Looking at me like I'm a big asshole because I don't want to donate money to the poor little kids that don't have school supplies? Well, so he made the mistake of asking me. He looks at me and not in a, just in this little condescending little shit, little asshole look. And he says, may I ask why you don't want to donate? Mistake. So, it's almost like everything went in slow motion. And I start looking around before I respond to see the environment. Who's here? So I look to my left. There's like 5 people in line behind me. And there's him. And then there's like 1 or 2 people and some registers above. And so I pulled back what I would have normally probably gone over the counter and strangled his little fucking little neck if I didn't want, if I wanted to go to prison. So I pulled back and I said, well, number one, because I only donate to military related causes and animals. And number 2, I don't believe you should have children if you can't even afford to buy their goddamn school supplies. So he just looks at me and I said, yeah, there's that. And I continue with my transaction and I'm looking back going, oh my God, who's listening, whatever. I tried to keep it low. I didn't yell. I didn't scream. But I was fucking furious. Let me tell you what, I was furious. So let me explain. Number 1, I'm military, served during the Gulf War. My ex was military. My son is military. And I believe that everyone in this country should serve in that capacity in protecting this country in some form or another. Period. And if you don't, well, that's your business, whatever. But everyone should. It's your responsibility. But while some do, others pay for them to do. So, when it comes to military veterans, I'm all about that. And I will donate just about to any of those causes if I feel they're relevant and a good cause. And animals. I rescue animals. I have 3 dogs. I have a Chihuahua. I have a little Pitty, beautiful Pitty. I have a Doxy Pin, and we have a little ragdoll cat. And I know my whole life revolves around those dogs and taking care of them and who can watch them if we go here and when we go there. And I can only travel when my husband's home watching them and vice versa. And it gets insane. There's a lot to that. So, and those poor babies, when we get into that, this isn't a video about how amazing animals are and how much better they are than people. And that's why I donate my time, my money, to anything that's related to those poor animals, defenseless, that can't help themselves. If any of you probably haven't, I'm sure nobody has, but if you listen to my previous video that I posted called Can You Say Chastity Belt, you'll understand why I have the feelings that I do towards this whole school supplies clause and why it triggered what it triggered, because it infuriates me that there are people in this world, in this country, having children that they can't afford. Period. Listen to my other video on that. But, so, my thing is here, I'm going to say something to fucking Burlington and all these fucking stores. Number 1, I think it's bullshit that everywhere I go, you're asking for my fucking donation. And then you try to browbeat people and make them feel guilty because they're not donating to your cause. I think it's pretty shitty. And number 1, I told my husband this. I got home and I told him, and of course he's always, calm down, Barbara. He always thinks I overreact at everything. And I don't, because like I said, this isn't something that just happened one time and all of a sudden I just freaking flew off the handle. And I didn't fly off the handle. I was very calm. I was just very, very honest. But I'm like, Jay, this little kid, he's a little arrogant little fuck. He's the one voting. He's the one doing this shit. He needs to comprehend that there's a lot more going on in this whole world than his little fucking attitude about a customer of his not donating to some cause that has absolutely nothing to do with why I'm there. and what I came there for. That's all. So, you know what? Do donate. Donate your time. Donate your money. Do it to a good cause. But I'm telling you right now, paying all these kids school supplies, all you're doing is freeing up money for their lazy ass parents to spend it on something else that they shouldn't be. When they had those kids, number one, I don't care. Number one, that is your kid's education. The most important thing. And you can't even afford to buy supplies for them? The education's paid for. It's a shitty public education, but it's paid for. And you can't even afford that? And you expect me and everybody else to afford that? I just think it's shitty. Really, really shitty. That's all. Maybe I'm a bitch. Maybe that's why they call me Trixie Bitch. So, Trixie Bitch out. And like I said, I rambled. I got off course, as I usually do. Do donate your time. Do donate your money. When I go out, I overtip everywhere to all the people in my life that make my life good. My wonderful hair goddess who takes care of me. I travel to Chicago every 6 weeks, 5-6 weeks. Pay her and tip her well to do my hair because she's amazing. And I am loyal like that. My nail people at VIP Nail Spa, they are amazing. And I overtip them because I love them. And because they are working hard. And they are doing what they are supposed to be doing in this world. If you can't afford supplies for your children, you need to get a second job, maybe a third job. I don't know, maybe a fourth job. I don't care. But that's all. Trixie out. Take care. Talk to you later.